quality of video. All right, looking good. Hey, all right. Hello. My name is Michael Wright, and we are here for the presentation for group interventions. Well, welcome. Let's get started. So, which non-clinical intervention will we be presenting today? There's a few. There's a lot of different ways that we can present these types of clinical interventions. You have Narcotics Anonymous, you have Alcoholics Anonymous, but the one that we are going to be focusing on is peer recovery specialists, recovery coaching, group meetings, patient education. But patient education is the primary one that we will be working on today. Let's see here. Let's go in. Yeah, there you go. All right. So, let's go into kind of like the origin of war on drugs. So, like we've heard about in class before, we've had issues with there being a person that is in office that is taking advantage of their power in order to make sure that Black Americans didn't get out of their place, because when they were on drugs, they probably had more less fear, and so we have a person that is identified as. I will get to the person in a minute, but the main thing I just wanted to let you guys know is that the origin starts from this individual, and I'll be giving you more in details. But one of the things that I have here is the constitutional rights being challenged. Posen reveals that he rightly describes a lost history of constitutional challenges due to drug laws, as well as early assumptions that shape those challenges. For example, prior to the Supreme Court's decision in Crane versus Campbell in 1917, judicial precedents abounded for the propositions that the right to possess alcohol for private consumption was an inalienable right, and Posen avers that most lawyers took it as given that this Constitution drug users as well. Confronting with the right of prohibitions and enforcements, litigants to the 1960s and 70s claimed that the criminalization of personal drugs use in the home inferior with their constitutional rights to privacy. They further argued that criminalization amounted. So what are we talking about? So basically, we have a period of time where we had the right to sit down in our household and use and consume drugs or alcohol. But now we're looking at, around the 60s or 70s where it's changing, where the time frame, where the way that we're looking at drugs and alcohol use is different. So let's see here. Okay, so now we're going to go into patient education. Okay, so like we're on the slide, patient education. We have the 4 essential steps in an effective patient education process. You have assessing patients' needs and understanding, providing clear and relevant information, engaging the patient with questions and feedback, and evaluating patient understanding and providing follow-ups. And why is patient education important? Patient education will basically have the person go from the results are effective. The clients become better knowing what to do instead of just putting the patient through treatment. It is so many different facts, and I'm gonna bring up a couple of them. You have patient education by having peer recovery specialists leading group sessions are described by Hageman, Foster, Kidd, Pack 2023, Tate, and Wolf 2022 and 2025 as very effective. And what I'm trying to get at is we have patient education specifically in peer recovery specialists that are leading groups. Like, I wanted to be very clear of what we're speaking about. So right now we have a period of time where people are going to get help from an outpatient program that are getting very good access to information, access to understanding, access to resources that will allow their life to become much better. Some people can't just get better on their own, so you have a village of people that can do that for you. And so that's what we're describing today, and that we're specifically getting at the patient education. Okay. So let's see here. One group that I would want to present to you guys about will be like Native Americans. So I'm gonna read this passage for you. The group ties, the group session tries to be very open and respectful to talking, listening, and using other skills to connect and grow with one another. And one thing that we do, let's say for patients with diabetes that are Indians, this study, there was a study that would basically show that with usual diabetes care in improving glycemic control and diabetes related distress, DSME was effective in improving the glycemic control, diabetes related distress, and self-care among type 2 diabetes, mellitus patients, etc. So what are we talking about? We're talking about people that are on these reservations that are given the information of how to help themselves, and also being helped while you're in the situation, going to your program to fix your diabetes. And I think what we're getting at is, if you believe and you understand, then you can create a better outcome for your situation. And so thank you for that. Let's see. So now let's get into peer recovery specialists. So peer recovery specialists are used in outpatient programs, a flexible schedule for people that are working, that are busy, and are able to go to these programs for a couple hours at a good time to not inconvenient their schedule. The peer recovery specialist is a certified professional who self-identifies as being in recovery for a substance use disorder, mental illness, or co-occurring disorders, and may play an important role in positively affecting outcomes by persons with substance use disorders. Clients having a professional whose experience, education, trauma, and understanding clients' culture is ideal. That professional is considered the peer recovery specialist. So why is this important? Like, what is the origin behind this? So like, the origin behind this is these individuals, and this research that is being done on peer recovery specialists is ongoing, and it is being in place to, because we really don't have too many answers, and to understand, what drugs do to people and how we can fix it, and then how, if you are not acculturated to the people that you're helping, that how it can affect them. So what I'm getting at is this platform, or this use of service to people, really helps in a very big way. It's just a matter of figuring out what is the best case scenario for your group of people that are coming to get the treatment, by applying yourself and understanding where they're coming from, and having the right therapists to help you while you're going through your situation. But there's just so many different things what you can do. But the main thing is making sure what you're doing is for them, by applying the right research, the right understanding, in order to make sure that they're getting the results that they need, so that they can be independent of the drug and be an independent person again. Most of the people that are on an opioid, alcohol, or some type of substance, are in need, are very dependent on others and things to be able to function. And some of the recovery centers are allowing them to learn independence and be able to socialize and learn interpersonal skills, and connect with good people to become better therapists, the personal counselors, and figuring out the best results. Um, so I wanted to present an example of a group session that was effective. Um, so before we get to that, let's get to effectiveness of the intervention. So let's get effectiveness. All right. So further research has also demonstrated that peer-delivered mental health services are effective, if not more effective than treatment as usual. Division, particularly in supporting individuals diagnosed with a serious mental illness. Similarly, peer specialists report several benefits of their employment for themselves, including an increased sense of self-efficacy, self-esteem, confidence, and feeling of personal growth from helping others with similar challenges. So this kind of goes back into what I was saying before, about the peer specialists being able to become for the person, that the clients. So having that, having therapy for the peer recovery specialist is very important. Having opportunities to discuss dialogue about clients without breaking procedure, kind of like talking casually about clients to, like, let's say your neighbor is not, it's not legal, but talking to your coworkers about, hey, this is something that's going on. I wanted to get your feedback on it. Having that conversation with your therapist is very important. Having a conversation with the boss is very important, in order to better allow that to come off of you, because it's a lot when you have clients that are in need of help. You would need to be able to help yourself, and then a lot of times when you have that revolving door to be able to be open for you when you want to express your feelings, that allows the best for the clients, opportunity to be able to grow, because if you're on your P's and Q's and you're at your best, they can it can become a great service for the people. So now treatment is treatable. The programs to prevent and fight against drug abuse have become major programs in the recent 2 decades in most parts of the world. Many attempts have been undertaken for treating drug abusers. There are various ways to deal with drug abuse. Drug abuse treatment programs have to consider a variety of services and methods for patients with diverse needs. Research has shown that addiction is treatable.
Hey, it is plain and simple. Um, we have a lot of issues when it comes down to
Substance abuse in this world, and
at the end of the day, when you are able to figure out that thing for the person that you're working with, it makes it a lot more better. We are going to pause and we're going to come back to this in a few seconds.